Per Temps Driver Training is one of the largest suppliers of driver training solutions in the UK. We're also the largest supplier of agency drivers in the UK, supplying thousands of drivers every week. So we understand the needs of both operators and individual drivers. Can you imagine a world without large goods vehicles? There is no doubt that these vehicles and the drivers who operate them are vital to the whole of our nation's economy and to our everyday lives. In, for example, keeping our supermarket shelves full or delivering vital medical equipment. The public perception of these important vehicles can be somewhat different to those of us who work and are passionate about our industry. Therefore, it's even more important than ever to ensure our vehicles are driven in a professional and courteous manner in order to change some of the more negative perceptions of the public. One aspect that has improved over the last few years is the roadworthiness and condition of vehicles that operate on our roads. However, there's still work to be done, and the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency, DVSA, estimate that around 50% of prohibitions issued for vehicle defects are linked to drivers not correctly undertaking vehicle safety checks, commonly called vehicle walk-around checks. This is one of the key reasons why we've produced this short film, showing how drivers should complete the safety checks in a comprehensive and professional manner. In short, you, as a qualified LGV driver, are responsible for the condition of the vehicle whilst driving on public roads. And if you drive in an unroadworthy vehicle, you may receive financial penalties and points, or in worst cases, have your LGV licence suspended or potentially revoked. In addition to the penalties that may be levied on the driver, the operator may also be sanctioned, with the company's operator licence being restricted, curtailed, suspended, or even revoked. However, these penalties, regardless to what level they're applied, pale into insignificance if an unroadworthy vehicle leads to an incident that causes serious injuries or even death. In these cases, the person responsible may be liable for a prison sentence of up to 14 years. So let's demonstrate how vehicle walk-around safety checks should be conducted. Before we start, there are hundreds of different vehicle combinations on our roads, such as vehicles mounted with forklifts and specialist vehicles carrying hazardous goods. For these types of vehicle combinations, additional qualifications and training will be required before you can legally operate these vehicles on the road. If you are in any doubt, please speak with your line manager. One question that is often asked by drivers is how long should a safety check take? Well, there's no maximum or minimum time. However, you need to demonstrate that a comprehensive check has been carried out before a vehicle is used. A typical check on a vehicle that a driver is familiar with should take around 15 minutes to complete. However, if the vehicle is new to the driver or has specialist equipment attached, the check may take significantly longer. Nearly all transport companies have paperwork to fill in as you complete your check. This paperwork varies from company to company, so you will need to ask your employer for details of what's expected of you. However, it is important that you complete this paperwork as accurately as possible, and if you do find a defect, you must report it to your line manager or supervisor as soon as possible, and then wait for further instructions. Remember, the driver undertaking the check is not expected to be a mechanic, but is looking for items that are either a legal requirement or would affect road safety. An easy way of remembering the type of items that need to be checked is to remember the phrase flour, fuel, lights, oil, water, electrics, rubber. The key to completing a good walk-around check is to have a practical routine to follow. You must also ensure that you have adequate light available for checks that take place in the dark. Remember, you can't check what you can't see. We start the routine on the approach to the vehicle. Stand back and have a good look to see if the vehicle is sitting square and there's no sign of fluids under the vehicle. Check for any obstructions in the footwell and the condition of the pedal rubbers and anti-slip. Following this visual inspection, the first job is to put the driver card into the digital tachograph so that the driver can record the vehicle walk-around check as other work. This is done by setting the tachograph mode to cross hammers. After the driver card has been inserted, you need to check the undergrille fluid levels. Please note, most modern vehicles have dash display levels only, so no dipstick. Back in the cab, you should turn on the ignition and look for warning lights or illuminations. Check the wipers and washers, horn and indicators, demisters and temperature controls. Check the steering wheel for security and for any excessive play, tachograph and seals, calibration certificate, speedometer, the operator's disc, hazard warning lights, instrument panel illuminations, lights, head, side, brake lights, and so on. The parking brake. Ensure the wing mirrors are correctly adjusted and free from defects. It is important to check that you have sufficient air pressure. An audible warning sound may be heard if the pressure is too low. To build up the air pressure, press the accelerator until the gauges display the correct operating levels. Whilst undertaking this procedure, you should also use the wing mirrors to check for any excessive smoke. Check the condition of the seat belt and check it fully retracts. Also check the general condition of the vehicle interior, including any items that could obstruct vision or could become loose. Starting at the front of the vehicle, start the exterior checks in an anti-clockwise direction around the vehicle. While completing the check, you should ensure that items are intact, in good condition, clean and working. At the front of the vehicle, check the lights, bodywork, bumpers, windscreen, number plate and wipers. Working around the vehicle, check the wing mirrors and steps. Check the tyres, ensuring that they're in good condition with no lumps, cuts or bulges. Check the legal minimum of 1 mm tread depth over 75% of the breadth of the tyre and around the whole circumference. Although it must be noted that different operators have different policies, and you may need to report if a tyre's tread depth falls below, for example, 2 or 3 mm. If in any doubt, ask your line manager. Check to see if the tyres look underinflated. Check the wheels for cracks or any other anomalies. Check the wheel nuts to see if any are worn or loose. Look for rust marks or any other signs of wear. If wheel nut indicators are in use, check that they're correctly secured and aligned, and also check the same amount of thread is showing on each nut. If fitted, you need to make sure that the storage locker is secure. Ensure the side collar is secure. You should check the items down the vehicle near side, including the fuel cap, checking for leaks and that it is secure. Check the vehicle's urea tank and cap if fitted. Check the spray suppression. Lights and number plate are secure and roadworthy. Ensure the landing legs have been fully raised and the handle is securely stowed in the cradle. Continue to check items as you work your way to the rear of the trailer, not forgetting to check the marker lights. At the rear of the vehicle, check that the back doors are secure and check the security of the load. There are many different load securing devices that can be used to secure your vehicle's load. Due to the diversity of goods transported, it's very difficult to lay hard and fast rules for what is the correct method for any given situation. Webbing straps or chains are often used to secure loads, but they aren't right for every situation. Whatever method you choose to be suitable, the load restraint system needs to secure the load to the vehicle chassis and prevent movement. Load security equipment must be checked for signs of wear and tear and reported if they're faulty. Don't forget to check items that are up high, also checking that the correct number plate is displayed and that it is secure. You will then work your way back up the vehicle's offside, checking items as you go. Not forgetting to check the fifth wheel locking mechanism and the security chain. When you're happy with the condition of the vehicle, return to the cab and make any final adjustments to the seating position, mirrors and so on. In the UK, there are around 5 cases of large goods vehicles hitting low bridges every day, and therefore it's very important to remember to adjust the in-cab height indicator to correctly show the travelling height of your vehicle and, if attached, the trailer. At the end of the physical checks, you need to complete any paperwork and return to the traffic office. Don't forget to undertake another vehicle check if you change vehicles during your shift or if you change trailers. It is your responsibility to monitor the roadworthiness of your vehicle during your shift, and if a fault or any damage should occur, this must be reported at the first opportunity. If you have any further questions, please ask your line manager or our driver training team.